Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
Happening again. The United States shooting down another high-flying unidentified object, this time much closer to home. And we'll start right there at noon. For the fourth time in just 9 days, the U.S. takes out an unidentified object, this time over Michigan. A short time ago, Congresswoman Elissa Slotkin took a question about the object shot down above Lake Huron. Let's get to Victor Williams, who was at that event. Victor, what are we learning this noon?
Well, Jason, it's what we're not learning that has a lot of people concerned. There's so many questions about what these objects actually are. Now, Representative Elissa Slotkin, she says there is a reason why we must be concerned, and she also has a little bit of insight on what's going to be happening next going forward.
What ran through my mind was certainly, after everything that happened with the balloon sent over, emanating out of China, that we are on high alert for everything and anything, and that we are just in a different era right now where we're watching our skies, much more closely. I have no idea what this object actually was. We don't know if it was, again, another Chinese government product, if it was a Russian government product, or if it was just an academic, who put up some sort of weather balloon. We need to exploit it and understand it. But as a former CIA officer, I know exactly what's going to go on once we get this wreckage, which is we're going to take it to, some sort of classified facility and try to understand everything about it. Who made it? Where did it come from? What was it carrying, if anything? How did it propel itself?
As you can tell, the Department of Defense is taking this matter very seriously, and we'll be talking to other state leaders coming up at 4, 5, and 6 p.m. For now, we are reporting live. Victor Williams, Local 4.
Yeah, a lot of people that want answers about it. All right, Victor. State police need help finding a missing 3-year-old girl from Detroit. Investigators say Zanaya Alexandria is missing after her father, 54-year-old Wardell Jones, didn't follow a court order to surrender her to Child Protective Services. Police say Jones is aware of the court order. If you know where they are, you're asked to call police. A Detroit mother sentenced to probation for not telling firefighters her 18-month-old daughter was inside her burning home. Back in April of 2021, Alexander ran out of her burning home, telling firefighters to rescue her 20 dogs. However, she made no mention of the baby who was found in her crib covered in blankets. Firefighters found the child and she is okay. Again, the judge sentenced her to 3 years probation as part of her no contest agreement. Former Michigan State basketball star Keith Appling pleading guilty to second-degree murder. Prosecutors say Appling shot and killed 66-year-old Clyde Edmonds after they argued. Police believe a stolen gun may have been at the center of the argument. His trial was originally scheduled to start today. Appling also faced several weapons charges as part of his plea deal. Those charges were dismissed. He'll be sentenced March 3rd. Firefighters trying to figure out what happened after what appears to be a house explosion in Melvindale. This is what's left of the house on Wood Street, close to I-94 between Oakwood Boulevard and West Outer Drive. You can see the severe damage done to the inside and outside of the home. Witnesses were there, described the moment it happened.
I was sitting watching the news last night, and then the window blew into my living room. Big, huge, loud bang.
No official word on what happened here, but neighbors say the home had been undergoing some renovations, and they believe it may have been something caused by natural gas. In Decision 2024, yeah, you probably didn't expect to hear that just yet, at least in February of 2023, but Bloomfield Hills businessman Perry Johnson announcing his presidential bid, and he did it during the Super Bowl. The failed gubernatorial candidate spent nearly $200,000 on a Super Bowl ad in Iowa. The ad takes aim at several Democrats in federal government. So far, he is the leading spending candidate in the 2024 presidential race. The city of Flint remains under a boil water advisory this week. Last week, there was a break on a 24-inch water main causing a drop in pressure. The line is now fixed, but bacterial testing on the water isn't yet complete. Mayor Sheldon Neely says the boil water advisory could be lifted later today. So it's just actually in effect for today. A multi-million-dollar resurfacing project starting on I-94 today. Sky 4 was over the scene as construction crews begin work. The crews are making bridge and ramp improvements on I-94 from 23 Mile Road to County Line Road. Work will also be done on the M19 and M29 interchange ramps. This construction project will be done by late fall. You are looking live at downtown Mount Clemens, which is beautiful this time of year, clearly, and it's always nice when the sun is out. Maybe a rare occurrence, the sun in the middle of February, but I'm telling you, Ashley, like we said earlier today, don't get fooled. Don't get sucked in by all of this. We know Michigan just can turn around and pound us.
It's so true, but it's such a tease, Jason.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had a stretch of beautiful days, and you're just itching for spring to be here once you get a taste of it. But yeah, it's February after all, and we know here in Michigan, we could be dealing with winter well into April. So here's a look at satellite imagery, because we did have a weak cold front that passed through early this morning, and you can see that line of cloud cover that was draped with that front. Now pushing towards Pittsburgh, so that front out of the way. We have dry conditions, and that front didn't really cause any havoc, no precipitation, just a little cloud cover that came from it. So as we take a live look downtown, blue skies over Detroit. We are currently sitting at 50 degrees. Howell 46, 45 in Pontiac, and 48 in Adrian. Over at Metro Airport, we're anticipating 49 to be the high, but given that Detroit has already seen 50, I think we're going to have several locations hitting the low 50s today. We've already had the decreasing cloud cover. We're going to hold on to the sunshine throughout the afternoon. Winds will be sustained, a little breezy, 10 to 15 miles per hour, and possibly gusting up to about 25 miles per hour. Come tonight, though, clear and cool. 29 is what we wake up to tomorrow morning before rebounding back towards 50 for your Valentine's Day. Tracking some rain tomorrow, though, Jason, will time it out coming up in your full forecast.
We'll be here for it. All right, Ashley. We're back on the noon with an ominous warning from the State Department for tourists in a certain part of the world. But first, we're heading to the Turkey-Syrian border to get an update 1 week now after a deadly earthquake there, where the rescue efforts stand next on Local 4.